Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this chapter of Curious Case of the Paddington Prowler, our steampunk TTRPG actual play. Couple of quick notes. We are going to be here on Wednesday again for Eternium Gate. So come join us at 11 p.m. Eastern for that. We've started essentially a new arc, and it may get a new title because right now all the gates are sealed. So we might need a new title for that game. We'll have to see. It'll depend. Yes, also as chat mentions, this is our first multi-stream. So you could be watching us on Twitch. You could be watching us on YouTube. Hopefully chat doesn't get too confusing. I've not done this before, so we'll find out. Then on Saturday, we will be playing Unlawful Disorder in the morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then we do have a somewhat sad announcement, but for scheduling reasons and a couple of other reasons, we have had to cancel Far From Home. And for those of you who were watching, listening to the podcast, I have had a massive catastrophic failure of a hard drive. So my 100 terabyte hard drive died, and I lost everything. And that includes all of the backup audio for that podcast. And because of how we've been streaming, I'm not able to recover it particularly easily. So unfortunately, if you want to get the rest of the story, you're going to have to watch it on YouTube because I don't have a way to make the audio happen without countless more hours of work. And I just don't, unfortunately, have time. So I apologize for that inconvenience. But what is there is there, and then for scheduling reasons we are going to have to cancel that show. So with all of that said, let's do some quick introductions and jump back in because we've got a big episode tonight. Shawnee B, how are you?
I'm here.
Yes,
Yes.
you are.
Mm-hmm.
As is Katie. How are you?
I'm well. I am also here, as was stated. Yep.
But luckily well, which apparently trumps Chantel. Because Chantel is apparently just here, not well. Sarah, are you well, or are you only here?
I think I'm both here and well.
Good.
Yes.
Both is good. Por que no los dos? What about Sammy? Sammy, are you well and here, or just well?
I think I'm both. Although I think I'd use the term excitedly apprehensive. I think that's where I'm
Oh.
at.
That's interesting because I'm apprehensively excited.
And as the one who knows all the things, I am also well in here. So, with that out of the way, last time we played this game was last Monday. And you all had a very sick sister named Nora who, while she didn't lick Eternium, she did touch it. It would have been really bad if you'd licked it, I'm just saying.
Directly attacked by that statement.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, if Sarah had pulled a Chantel and licked the Eternium, that's just dead Nora, right? Like, that's not even like, it's just, Nora's gone. Oh, that would have been classically unfortunate. But you went through a strange hallway that was created by your father's solicitor, Mr. Angel, and you arrived in what you later learned was Leeds, which, as we learned last week, is very far away from London, where you were. Quite far for, the 3-ish minutes it took you to get there. But in Leeds, you went and met Dr. Domingo. And Dr. Domingo tried to do a procedure for Nora. Then somebody undid a buckle. Nora's hand started to float away. Then we had to redo some stuff. Some conversations happened between Nora and a handful of people that all took place off of headsets, so we won't discuss those in much further detail. Then people had dinner, except Nora, who's confined to her bed for a period of time. And then there were some more kind of off headset moments where a conversation took place between, at first, Constance and Dr. Domingo. Then Constance went and found Amelia. Then there was a conversation between Amelia, Constance, and Dr. Domingo. And then, at the very end of the session, a great sorrowful howl was heard through the house. But we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, if you're not Sarah, please take your headphones off. Because in the instant, Nora, that howl fills your ears as you, I assume, attempt to struggle against your bonds to go and find out what's going on, given that howling and the past 9 days of life have not ever lined up well in your family. You find you're still sitting in that bed. You're still bound to a chair. But there's a familiar scent in the room. That dank, musty, mildewy kind of smell. You know, that earthy, mushroomy kind of smell. And then you hear just that, "Hello, dearie. I came to have a talk with you." And as you look around, you see that you are still in Domingo's operating room, but that there has sprouted a large mushroom stool, and Babette is sitting cross-legged on it and looking over at you.
I'm a little bit busy right now.
I mean, you don't appear to be busy. You appear to be tied to a table.
Yes. It's rather inconvenient.
It's very convenient for me because it means that I have a captive audience to what I have to talk to you about. But it's very important. But if you'd prefer not to have my warning about your family, then I'll just go.
No. No, I'd rather you stay.
Oh, I'm so charmed, dear. And she you watch as the mushroom sort of grows up around her so she has a much more comfortable chair rather than just a stool. She says, "I would offer you some tea, but I do believe you need to keep your hands still. So,
And I'm also not allowed to eat anything.
this doctor's awful. You should have come to see me, dear. I probably could have done something."
I was unconscious at the time.
Oh, you should definitely... How did that happen?
I thought I told you last time I visited you. I touched Eternium metal.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. There's been a great deal of strangeness going on. You see, dear, and I need to be quick before I'm noticed that I'm missed. There is someone is messing with the Marley family fate thread.
I can already tell I don't like this. What is a fate thread?
You know of a bloodline or a lineage, correct?
Yes.
So, your family, your lineage is more than just blood. It is your impact upon the world. It's your impact upon, well, everything. And you and your family are... Someone is attempting to sever or reweave. Reweave is probably the better idea. I'm not sure. I didn't get a good look before I had to nip away to warn you. Someone's trying to change something. Something very deep. Something very integral. Something that transcends the veil, transcends wish magic, transcends, well, most anything. You see, dear, people People make choices. People have the ability to choose, and so the fate thread is always shifting and changing. It's always weaving in front of itself. But there is a pattern to it. Everyone sort of has similar choices. Just for example, tonight, your sister made a very terrible decision, but a
Wait,
very
which one?
selfish one.
Oh, Amelia.
But she made a decision that was very much in keeping with her character. She followed her pattern, the same way you followed your pattern earlier in the evening. No one is surprised very often by what we do, and that's why when we do things that are surprising, it's so dangerous. But someone is attempting to reweave in the back, and that's just not done. And it's a very frightening prospect.
How would they go about doing that?
To be perfectly honest with you, there are very few ways it's even possible, but I've been summoned to a wishes coven. Not a witches coven, of course, dear, but a wishes coven. We like that one. It confuses mortals often. But we don't get together often, dear. It's incredibly problematic when we do. But I've been summoned. You see, darling, someone made a choice very recently. Do you know? And she kind of, you watch, and it's very odd to watch her scoot the mushroom closer to your hospital bed. And I apologize for bumping the microphone, but she just like lifts it and does that like little shimmy forward and sits down a little bit closer. And she leans over and she smells. Initially, this would be a very revolting smell to you, but the longer you have been a hag, you find it to be not comforting in any way, but just less nauseating. When you were a girl, did you ever throw rocks into a pond?
Well, yes, hasn't everybody?
I was never a little girl, so I don't know. But you watched the ripples that would come out from the middle, yes?
Yes.
And the further out those ripples got, the larger but the much slower and further apart they were, correct?
Yes. It was fascinating.
Somewhere, a very, very far away place from here. Further even than Los Angeles or Tokyo. Very far, someone made a choice. They called on me, and they made a wish. And it changed things. Those ripples are being felt everywhere. Because that place is the center of all places. You've heard the expression, all roads lead to Rome.
Yes.
Well, this won't make a lot of sense to you, but all hallways lead to Emios.
You're right. That makes absolutely no sense.
I know. But it's important. Those ripples are being felt, and we have been running around cleaning up messes since it happened. But we've been summoned. And that only happens when there's a catastrophe.
Who summons a wish hag?
Someone willing to pay a very large price for a very, very large wish. The last time it happened, was in that very center where our hallways lead not too long ago. Having two of them this close together is unheard of. But I fear, dear, that the fate thread and this wish are linked.
The person who's making the wish is messing with our fate thread?
Yes. The Marley fate thread is woven from different material than most. Your family is very important. Some would say vital.
And what am I supposed to do about this? You said I'm not allowed to interfere with wishes.
No. And she reaches her hand out and she touches your cheek. But the thing is I sort of like you, dear. And I just wanted you to be warned.
Thank you? I don't know why you would like me. I don't like you.
Liking someone doesn't have to be a two-way street, dear. And she stands up. And she kind of sniffs at the air a little bit. Do you smell it, dear?
Your mushroom? It's making me hungry. Oh, that's awful.
There's blood on the air.
Would Norris smell it?
It can be noticeable.
Nope. She got a 3. She's hungry.
Yep. You smell mushroom. There's danger in leads, dear. Be careful. And this house, it's not what it seems.
Strapped to a table. I can only be so careful. You don't happen to know whose blood it is you smell, do you?
I smell multiple bloods. And she looks. Be careful, darling. The Reaper is in Leeds tonight.
Wait, is that a real actual person?
Yes.
Wait, how come I didn't get to see the Reaper when Amelia died?
Because you didn't die. But
Let me
she
get
saw
this.
him. She just won't ever remember. And she leans over, and it's a very odd gesture because kind of just this white mist sort of comes from her forehead and like kind of brushes against Nora's. And then she stands up and you realize it is the actual wish magic creature touching your forehead, not the hag shell that it inhabits. And she steps back. I have to get back to the coven, dear. Good luck. And she's gone. Wayland, you hear a very sad howl.
I am going to race towards it.
Okay. With Nate right behind you, you guys find yourself bursting into the study of Dr. Domingo. And you see Dr. Domingo. He's standing behind a desk. There's an array of papers in front of him. you see Constance lying on the ground, and the scene itself, and we'll let Katie describe how Amelia is reacting to this scene. But the scene itself is of rapid fire shifts between Wolf and Constance, and Wolf and Constance. Just back and forth as though someone has one of like those children's play animation books and is just flipping the page really quickly. And I don't know what Amelia is doing because Katie has not told us yet.
Amelia's probably crawling towards, because she was on the floor, I think, at the end of last session, kind of hunched over, trying to cover her ears. And she's going to start trying to crawl back towards the desk to get behind it where Dr. Domingo is.
Okay.
To get away from Constance.
Okay. Constance, you're not aware of the room around you. You are in a long alleyway. There is someone stumbling into it, and you see that it is a wolf. Specifically, a werewolf standing tall, gleaming red eyes. You know the face of this wolf all too well. It looks lost and afraid. And you realize that you're walking toward it. You glance down, and in your hand you're holding a blade that gleams blue. And you step up behind it, and without a word or a thought, you feel your consciousness reach around and drag that blade across that wolf's throat. And it collapses. And you feel the audible click, almost like a shackle being undone. Back in the study, you all watch as the transformations begin to slow. Amelia has gotten behind the desk. Nate and I assume Wayland have gotten to Constance's side. Nate is holding Constance in his arms. And then slowly, Constance is all that remains. And your eyes flutter open and you look up into the eyes of your older brother. Hey. You all right?
I killed it.
You killed what?
The beast.
The one inside you? How?
Domingo.
Look up at Domingo.
And you
What
see
did you do?
that he's standing there. And he is leaning over a desk and he's loading papers into a briefcase. And he glances down at Amelia. I gave her the cure. I opened the pathway into her mind. And she went in and did what was necessary.
So the beast is gone.
The one that was inside her, yes.
How do you feel, Constance?
How do I feel?
Alone? More lonely than you felt in a long, long time? For a plethora of reasons based on things we discussed this week.
I feel tired.
And you do very much at that.
Well, we're here for you. Anything you need, just ask.
Is there anything else you need, Emily? She blinks at Constance several times and then looks up to Dr. Domingo. The letter mentioned a serum.
Yes.
What serum did she ask you not to give me? What was it for?
And he kind of reaches a hand out. And give me a notice roll, Amelia.
Nine.
Okay. I'm going to send you a message in chat while he talks to you. But he looks to you and kind of gives you a sad smile as he reaches out his hand and touches your cheek. And he says, "It's hard to explain. It was one of my ideas, one which Alistair stole.
Emily has found her parents.
I don't understand. What do you mean? What's serum? Who's she?
Mother. Amelia Nora. Domingo. Emily.
You're her father.
Yes.
And Amelia Nora is alive.
No.
Ah.
At that, tears just start to stream down Amelia's face. Do you know what she received from the goblin merchant?
Yes.
What was it?
Poison. And he steps back away from Amelia and closes the briefcase. And he turns and looks at Constance. The weakness will fade. You'll need serious rest. Possibly a day. You'll probably be in shape to travel around the same time as your sister. Nathaniel, when she's ready, carry her up to bed. She doesn't need to be on an exam table strapped down, but right now, she's weaker than a newborn kitten. And he looks at the rest of you for a moment. I believe that it would be best, given the gravity of what's gone on, that everybody gets some sleep. I have an early train to catch in the morning.
Wait. And she looks down at his hand. What happened to your wrist?
I was injured when I was a boy.
How?
In a hunting accident with Alistair.
What kind of accident?
He shot me.
Why would he do that?
He didn't do it on purpose. Alistair Marley is a well-renowned marksman now. He wasn't always. The incident is part of how he became one. Or why. And he picks up the briefcase. You're welcome to sit around here and talk if you wish. But I must get to bed.
Doctor, do you have a telegraph or some way of contacting London? We can do it in the morning instead, but
Yes.
if there's a means within in the house,
Yes.
we have
And
access
he
to.
indicates a small desk in the corner of the room. It's here in my study. It's yours if you need it.
Thank you.
Do you have more of that cure?
Not here.
Where?
It has to be synthesized.
Destroy it.
As you wish. And he
Why, Connie?
I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
But the beast, it's gone. Right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
You've had a part of yourself die. I understand.
Nathaniel lifts Constance up into his arms the same way any one of us would lift just a little itty bitty child. Do you want to speak to Nora? Or do you want to just go to bed, dear?
I want to go to bed.
All right. And he carries Constance up the stairs and puts her to bed and takes up residence in the chair at the end of it. Wayland and Amelia, what do the two of you do?
Amelia comes back over and sits. I'm guessing there was like a sofa or some kind of somewhere to sit down.
I mean, there's your father's desk chair behind the desk.
She sits down there and begins to reread the letter quietly, still crying.
Okay.
How are you doing, Amelia?
Um, I don't know.
Seems like a good answer.
Yeah. Has Dr. Domingo left? He left the room at this point, right?
Yeah, a long
Okay.
time ago.
Okay. It turns out that Mother ended her own life. Um, because she was so unhappy with Alistair.
Do you know why she was unhappy?
When she was in the winter court, she was married to Dr. Domingo. So he's my father.
Betrothed to, not married to.
Oh, I thought he said he was married. He said he used the word wife. He was betrothed to Mother and fathered me. And when the summer court attacked and Mother was removed, he stayed behind to make sure everything went according to plan. And he came back for Mother, but she was too afraid to leave Father, Alistair. So she stayed.
Afraid of Alistair or afraid of
The summer court.
the summer court? Yeah.
So she stayed with him. Then had a family and from the sounds of it, became very unhappy and decided to end it. So she left me with Alistair.
What do you want to do now?
I want to save Dorian. And then, however long it takes, I'm going to find a way to make the summer court pay for what they did.
Understandable.
Give me a notice roll, Katie.
Four. I can't hear you.
I'm going to send you another message, and then we are going to jump to.
Just
yes. Go ahead.
quickly, would I know how to I want to send a message primarily for to Van Helsing, Hattie Marie, and Ishmael. And I sort of want to, as best as able, not have it be something, because my concern would be that if you send it to anything with the Marleys, that Dr. Jack could be there instead. Would I know a place that I would feel confident they would get it?
3M.
Yeah, that's the only place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the fact that essentially the order dissolved, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You could maybe roll and see if you, and you could. The only other place would be if you feel reasonably confident and want to spend the bennies in such a way that you think you'd know how to essentially send a telegraph to Van Helsing's estate itself.
Is that still within London?
Yeah, that would be in
within
London. Yeah, it'd be in the,
Yeah.
in the outskirts.
Yeah, I'm happy to spend.
Okay. Yep. Throw a benny.
What,
And,
just a benny on? Yeah.
yeah, you can send a telegraph to the Van Helsing estate. What would you like it to say?
Essentially, updating them that we left London, that we're, where we are, and suggest that whatever the gear we left at the Pixie needs to be picked up, and ideally, if Ishmael can bring it.
Okay.
And that we would likely then come back for a little while after everyone's recovered, stop back at London for some few things before moving on.
Okay. Alrighty. Do you guys hang out in here at this point? Do you go elsewhere? What is you guys' game plan? Constance at this point upstairs, either laying there not asleep or sleeping. That's up to Chantel. Nathaniel is not going to leave her bedside until morning, given that he's essentially been told she can't really move.
Once I've sent the telegram, I'd probably go check on Nora.
Okay. And Amelia?
After what she said to I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting names.
Me?
Wayland, my gosh, I'm sorry. After what she said to Wayland, she just got up and walked out and went up to wherever her room is here.
Okay. Nora and Wayland, we'll start with you then. As you approach the door to the operating room, you hear hoarse screaming through the door.
Fantastic.
As in HOARSE for the
Yeah.
audience, not like a horse is screaming. We're not doing that.
doing that-
Constance! Wayland! Gears and sprockets, I swear, if you're all dead, I'm gonna bring you back and kill you again for dying on me and leaving me here strapped to a table.
Some of this is punctuated by the occasional very dry cough.
So I'm gathering that, like, when I hear it, I sort of, but then it's like, it's not is panicked. It's how dare you not tell me what's going on.
Yeah, it's anger.
Yeah. Okay. So
I feel like there's this
It's a-
moment of Wayland. I'm reconsidering opening this door.
yeah, there's definitely a sort of like a pit, and then he's just like, okay, no, we have, this is okay. And yeah, he goes inside.
I definitely have this. How you doing, sunshine? Everything okay in here? Kind of.
I'm
image
sorry,
in
you
my head.
cold?
There was a howl, loud enough that little bottles fell off shelves in this room, and nobody thought that I might be concerned.
Also,
Sort of.
Wayland, give me a notice roll.
Does my one-eyed penalty affect this?
Nope, it's your nose.
Oh, good. 4.
This room reeks of mushrooms and damp earth.
Cool.
I'm glad to see you're alive, Wayland. What took you so long? Are the others alive? I almost think it might be better if someone's dead. Is someone dead? She said there was blood. Multiple people's blood.
Keeps going to
Also-
say something, gets interrupted again.
Yeah, also you notice at the end of the table, there's a strange mushroom chair. It literally looks like someone
Can-
carved a very nice, like, lazy boy recliner directly out of a mushroom.
I'm getting slightly tired with the use of pronouns and not names. Who is she?
The Hag of Clava. Babette. The woman that can apparently travel anywhere she wants at the speed of thought, but hasn't shared yet with me how I can do that. And why does she always appear, leave some cryptic message, and then not stay long enough for me to ask her questions about how this whole hag thing works? All I know is the bad things. Touch blue metal. Blah.
Yes, no. Why would Babette only give you bad news.
Well,
So out of
apparently she
character for
likes
her.
me. I don't know why she likes me. I've told her and over again I don't like her.
That's why she gives you as a not suffering.
Hmm?
I came as soon as I was able, Nora.
What's going on? Is Constance okay?
Constance is... Everyone's okay for a given value of okay.
Did she say she was fine? Because you can't believe her if she goes, I'm fine, Nora.
No.
She doesn't really mean she's fine.
Dr. Domingo cured her of the beast. Or at least he enabled her to kill it.
I'm conflicted. I knew there was a cure. I said there was a cure. It's good not to have her under the control of the Prowler, but we had already taken care of that when the hag brought her back. Also, did you know that he pretty much hates Father? I do not
Yes.
trust anything about him. In fact, Babette said this house is not what it seems. Do not trust him. She would know. She's kind of untrustworthy herself.
Yes, I'm starting to get that impression. It's a very complicated situation.
Don't trust him.
He's Amelia's father.
No, Father is Amelia's father.
Well, he's her biological father.
If she could wave her hand, you can tell she'd be waving it. Father raised her. If he knew that she was his daughter and he just left her there,
He didn't just leave her there.
and you know this information from who?
Amelia,
And she got it from who?
her
From
mother.
the man who doesn't like Father and lies. He said if I turned down his offer, he wouldn't be angry. But Nathaniel, who's a pretty good judge of people's emotions, better than I am usually, he said he's actually angry. So he lied. He's a liar.
I don't think you're wrong.
So you're going to trust him about our father and everything?
No. This is a complicated situation. Every single part of it is mixed up with emotion and pain.
Whenever people tell
Your
me things
mother,
are complicated, they're not really that complicated.
Yeah, things like calculus.
well,
Calculus is fine
let me tell you, Nora, what
for
Amelia
Nora.
told me. What did I say? Oh, sorry. I see. Let me tell you, Nora, what Amelia told me.
Which she got from Domingo.
The way she described it makes it sound like she got it from her mother. She had a note.
She's dead.
Yes. So was Constance.
So
So
she
was
read a
Amelia.
note that was apparently written by Mother, but
No,
delivered
this is going to be a
by
lot easier if
Domingo?
you
I'm sorry, I've just been
don't
strapped
keep
to a
interrupting
table
me.
for a while, screaming, while
Yes.
everybody had more
I'm
important things.
sorry, Nora. We had things to do. We can't all just come and update you whenever you need. You are the one who decided to hurt yourself. You are now going to have to pay the price for doing that. And if you could sit there and complain about it, I will leave and you will not get any of this information. I'm tired.
Okay, fine. Go to bed. I'll tell you important family Marley business in the morning. Good night.
I leave.
All right. If you're not Amelia, take your headphones off. Sarah, you don't play Amelia. You head up to your room, Amelia. And you open up your door. And you find a plate sitting on the bedside table. It has cookies on it. And there's a note. This time there's no cinnamon.
She screams and just tosses the plate of cookies across the room.
Okay. Shawnee B, first question first. Are you asleep? Constance, not you.
I mean, neither of us are asleep.
Okay. Then you hear a really loud scream followed by shattering of crockery. As does Nate, as does Wayland as he comes up the stairs headed to his room.
Constance
What
rolls over.
direction is it coming from?
Amelia's bedroom.
Of course it is.
There's only one scream that sounds like that. Constance rolls over and tries to sleep some more. Doesn't work, but still, doing her best at this point.
You hear Nate in your head, Wayland. Do you have that, or do you need me to get it?
Got it.
Good luck. Also, where's Ezra?
I don't know.
Me either.
I go to Amelia's room.
Okay, and you open up Amelia's room. You enter a room where Constance and Nora can't have their headphones on. Sarah did never put hers back on. Good job. So, you enter a room. There are cookies all over the ground and shattered plate. And Amelia is standing in the room just shrieking. And I imagine like stomping her feet.
Is it like in anger, fear, upset,
Definitely anger.
all of the above?
There's probably tears, shrieking, possibly self-hair pulling.
Definitely anger.
What happened?
Are you still holding the note?
Yeah.
She's holding a small little note card in her trembling, hair-pulling hands.
Like
She's
just like a business card thing, or like a
It looks like a handwritten, like kind of folded, like tented kind of note.
different from the letter she was reading back in the office?
Yes. That letter, I imagine she has kept somewhere very, very safe. So it's like laying on the bed. This is just like a small tented, kind of folded in half kind of note card.
Sure.
she doesn't say anything, but she just quickly hands out the note to Wayland.
As you
What does
look
it
at
say?
it and you uncrumple it, it says, "This time, no cinnamon." Give me a notice
Wow.
roll, both of you.
Negative for I.
Nope, this is ears.
Seven.
10.
You hear a horse in the yard. Both of you hear like the neigh. Wayland, you hear the incredibly galloping feet. Like it is moving fast.
Would we be able to see it from the room where
Yeah,
we're
if
in?
you move to the window,
Do that.
there is a man. He is riding a horse very, very quickly. And he has a top hat and is wearing a long duster jacket. And he is flogging the daylights out of that horse to get it to go as fast as possible.
Amelia's gonna try and mind rend him from the window.
Not from this distance.
No?
No,
Okay.
not even close.
Well, darn. She wants
Does
to,
it-
though. She'd really like to.
Yeah, the window in front of Amelia just like shatters into a million pieces. Just outward.
I'm assuming the clothes look like what Dr. Jack was wearing,
Mhm.
or has been seen wearing.
Except for the top hat, which looks like the
Right.
one that was hanging on the rack in Domingo's office that he took off of the hook as he walked out the door. And I will remind Amelia what was on the page of the stationery on your father's desk. From the desk of J. Francis Domingo.
God damn it.
She sits down on the bed. Oh my God. I don't... Wayland. I think Dr. Domingo is Dr. Jack?
Is there still like a plate or something that's in decent condition?
There's like a vase full of flowers.
Can I hurl it at something?
Oh,
like a wall?
absolutely.
Let's do that.
Also, give me a your psychic power roll. Amelia. I'm gonna pull the other two in.
Seven.
Okay, so downstairs, Nora, you heard like a bang noise and like a muffled through the floor kind of screaming noise. Now you hear another much louder bang noise, followed by deeper kind of grumbling, also very muffled. But then the rest of you, all of you, and Constance, you hear this, but at a much closer proximity through the side wall, not, through the ceiling, like Nora's hearing it. But Constance, you also heard a huge amount of shattering glass just a moment ago. And now you both start to hear lots of cracking and rending. And Constance, as you roll over, you see through the wall as large gashed rents start to appear in it. And Nora, as you look up through the new gash rent holes in the floor, you see your sister, Amelia, standing there with her arms out wide. She's floating about 6 inches off the floor, and she's just screaming as she rips holes in the floors and the walls of this house.
Amelia, I'm trying to sleep. Go away.
You hear come up through the floor below you.
Constance closes her eyes, does her best.
I imagine after several more moments of screaming and tantruming,
Yeah.
Amelia finally calms down enough and looks at Wayland. Where's Ezra?
I was assuming he was with you, but I haven't seen him.
Give me a notice roll. Wayland and Amelia. Nora and Constance, actually, you can roll one too.
5.
You're both awake, and there's now holes everywhere.
5
Unless I
also.
just see it, and then it's 3. But
Yeah, no, it's a hearing thing.
3.
Gonna spend a penny.
Okay.
Five.
You all who rolled above a 4 hear in the distance outside of the house, specifically coming through, the massive broken window in Amelia's room, echoing through to you through the various places if it needs to. Nate rolled a 9. You hear a loud crack. Definitely the crack of probably a gun. And then something you all hear, which is the sound of a horn being blown in the distance.
Amelia's gonna run out of the house and towards that gunshot and horn.
yeah, Wayland's there with her.
I assume Constance rolls over and goes back to sleep.
Constance lies on her back, staring up at maybe the ceiling, maybe the sky at this point. Who knows?
There's some of
And
both.
yeah, let's look at the sky. It's a nice change.
Okay.
That's where we're at now.
Okay. Nate appears very quickly and quite suddenly at Nora's bedside, and you hear this loud wrenching noise. And Nora, you find your hospital bed being carried by your brother with you on it as he rushes off in the direction of where everybody else is headed. And he looks at you. Sorry I didn't think of this sooner. I heard you yelling at Wayland.
Yeah. Well, I was worried, and everybody just left me here, strapped to a table.
Well, we didn't want you to be 2 of you. The world's hard enough with 1.
Ghost'd be harder to kill. Might be handy about now.
Maybe. And you guys charge off. Amelia, go ahead and roll a d10. Reroll all 1s and 2s. It does not explode. So essentially you can't get less than a 3. So if you get a 1 or a 2, just reroll.
5.
Okay. I need you to spend 5 of your power points for your outburst / the just sheer strain you're putting on yourself as you sprint. You come into a clearing. And you see a hugely hulking form lying on the ground. And you recognize that form as Ezra.
She runs to him.
Okay.
Ezra.
And as you look, you see that he has a gunshot wound in his side. You see his horn is next to him, and it is just completely split. At this point, the other 3 of you are kind of closing in on her. And you see, not only does he have a gunshot wound, but he has his hand up and he's holding right here, and you can see just red coating his fingers.
No, no, no. And she gets down and tries to, I mean, she's way smaller than him, but trying to stop the bleeding where she can reach.
Okay. He. He. I tried to stop him.
Did Dr. Domingo shoot you?
Yes.
Ezra, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna make this okay.
Is there anything if I start trying to
You can try, yeah.
Do-
I mean, he's definitely
make,
been. Yeah, he's definitely had his throat slit.
make like a healing roll, to try and
Go ahead.
do what I can? Ooh. All right. 15.
With 15, you know he's not long for this world. You have basic first aid knowledge, but proceeding past, you can't really sew a slit throat and a severed artery and stuff back together particularly well. You essentially are able to make him kind of comfortable. And he looks up at you all. I'm sorry.
No, it's... You don't have to be sorry. You did them. I'm sorry. Just hold on a second. I'm gonna make this right. And then Amelia stands up and starts screaming Babette's name.
Does Nora have any potions on her?
Well, does Nora have her clothes on her? Because she had a couple in her pouches.
She has her clothes, yes. She does not have her satchel, but she has her clothes. You get no answer from Babette.
Ooh. Hmm.
Amelia, Babette's kind of busy. She's not gonna come.
Nora, can you fix this? Please.
Wayland, if you look in my pouch, or my pouch is on me. Wayland, look.
Yeah.
You can find one of the little bottles. It should be glowing sort of bluish.
Do I find a glowing bluish
Yeah.
little bottle?
Yeah, her stuff's there.
Yes.
Okay, try that one.
Just get him
Yes,
to
you
drink
drink it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I do that.
Okay. You pour it down his throat. It doesn't seem to have any impact. The blade, the blade had... the blade had a man.
Nora, you're a hag. You can fix this.
That's
Please.
a horrible thing to say to someone.
It's Amelia. let's be honest here. Tact is not a thing.
Amelia, I only did it once with the hag's help. And y'all left my satchel back at the Pixie with my quill and my ledger.
Oh, she's gonna stand up and just start screaming for Babette and
Okay.
crying.
You feel his hand kind of weakly tugging at her skirt. And he looks at her. The afterlife welcomes me. I have lived with honor.
Yes. She kneels down next to him. Ezra, don't go, please.
And he kind of brushes her hair back out of her eyes. My name, my real name is Ikanar.
Connor, I love you. And she kisses him.
Okay. And as you do, you feel his hand go slack and slide down her cheek. And he slumps back. And you watch as this kind of pale purple nimbus kind of rises up out of his body, and it is the shape and size of Ezra / Ikanar. And he holds his hand out toward you. And then the eyes of that apparition go very wide, and it streaks off through the forest with a mournful scream as you remember what that blade does.
I've forgotten what that blade does.
Babette warns you that it steals souls.
All three of you go back to the house now.
Wait, what was that? That didn't seem like he went to the afterlife and was happy.
He didn't.
What happened?
Go back to the house now, all of you. Run.
Nate, I think we should go back to the house. She just tore holes in the house.
Amelia, what are you going to do? Nate, get back to Constance right now.
Yeah.
You know, Amelia, we can go get him, but running off right now might not be a good idea.
You say as your voice drifts back, since Nathaniel is carrying you and running back.
She's like
toward Constance's
yelling
room.
it back as a thought.
As she hears the wolves, I think she's gonna change her mind about what she was about to do, and just turn back towards the house.
Okay.
As well, still sobbing and shaking and full of rage.
Your fiance's axe and both halves of his horn are laying there on the ground, by the way.
Oh, she's gonna grab both of those things. Yeah.
You
Is there
acquire
anything
both of
else?
And
those.
his
Yeah,
like a
necklace.
there's a great, his necklace and a great big old ingot of Eternium.
Oh, she's gonna just grab all that.
Please don't just grab all that. Take
It's
steps.
fine. I'm an elf. It's fine.
When has it been fine?
I was told that it was okay for elves to grab Eternium.
Well, half elves could.
By
Who knows
who?
about full elves? Wait, is Domingo an elf?
Now I'm questioning that.
Yeah, who told you that?
She's not gonna grab that with her
Was
bare
his
hands.
name J.F. Domingo?
Ire, just saying.
She's not gonna grab that. I mean, with her bare hands.
Okay.
Make some kind of.
Yeah, you essentially, your husband-to-be's coat is there, essentially. And you can wrap it up. You're moving real quick, Nora, because, vampire speedness. And all of a sudden, Constance, as you hear those wolves howling, all of a sudden there's just this and a kind of whiplashed out a little bit Nora and her operating table are in your room.
Constance, look, it doesn't need wheels. Nate's better.
And Nate looks to you. I thought you said they couldn't find you.
I don't know. Maybe they knew where I was before.
Yeah.
We haven't moved.
No. And he looks at you. Domingo was Jack.
I wish I were surprised.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. I was thinking about that drawing for the mechanical arm. He sort of showed me, but then didn't, so that I would have to pay for it. I was beginning to wonder if he wasn't somehow connected with Jack, who also has a mechanical arm.
If Domingo is Jack, that's why they know where I am. He's working with a Prowler.
Yeah.
Well, I'm entirely unuseful to them now, so...
And he reaches down and he tosses something from out of the inside of his coat to Nora. A quill.
Can't catch it?
And
Arms
it
are-
like lands on your stomach. A quill and a ledger.
Nathaniel, why didn't you give this to me sooner?
Nora, I wish the four of you back in London, and I wish you safe.
What? No.
Yes.
But
I can't
you-
protect both of you. And in the state that she's in, and Wayland with the whole one eye thing, how many of these wolves do you think we can hold off?
Probably 2 at least.
And how many do you think are out there?
Oh, more than 2. Last time there were like 9 or something.
I love all of you.
Why don't you wish us there? Why aren't you wishing us all there?
Because
It's just traveling 3 hours away. We're not bringing someone back from the dead.
yes, you are.
I'm confused.
And he lifts up the book and opens it wide. And you see that the quill is writing across. Make it happen, Nora.
You're trading you for Ezra?
And Wyatt.
I don't want to trade you for them.
Neither do I.
The important part is I was born first, so none of you get a choice.
That is not how this works. I am
That's
usually
absolutely
clearly in
not how this
charge.
works. She's right.
Also, the hag is not here to cover my mouth.
And you begin to hear the howls closer. Nora. What's your plan then? I can be gone, and 2 good men can make my sisters happy. Or we all die in this house. Unless you have a better plan. In the woods, in this cinematic movie back and forth, Wayland and Amelia, you stand back to back over the body of Ezra as at least 8 or 9 wolves circle around.
Nate, I don't have a better plan. So far, none of my plans have worked or had a chance to be put in motion.
So take this chance to put one in motion. And he looks
What
to
are you giving up?
Constance. The right thing.
What does it cost?
Me.
But what does that mean? Father got turned into a dagger. I became a hag. It's different every time. What does that mean?
You can read the contract.
Well, someone lift the contract up so I can see it.
Oh, I mean, the book is tilted up and the quill is writing for you. That the undersigned, Nathaniel Marley, will forever and always cease to exist. In the minds, in the hearts, and in the memories of all.
No, you dumb book. Write something else. Make him a hag. He can be my hag in training. Or turn him into a gun. Then I'll figure out later how to turn you back. Pick something else. Where's the eraser on this quill?
And he leans over and he kisses Nora on the cheek. 2 lives and 6 people safe in London.
Gosh dang it, why do people keep kissing me on the cheek and the forehead when they just told me something I won't like? Take it back.
And he takes the quill and he signs.
Constance, don't let him.
Constance's like, Nora, do it.
No, make it write something else.
I can't.
But I can. Write something else. Book. You're my book. I'm gonna pull feathers off of you, you dumb quill.
It's made of bone. Like it's
I'm gonna
just
break you. Just a little piece off the end.
breaks a piece off of the quill. The quill kind of shudders.
Have
but
some acid back in my lab.
Sam and Amelia, give me fighting rolls.
Fine, Nate.
5.
8.
Okay. You guys each managed to down a wolf. You sustain cosmetic at best injuries in the process. But as the wolves fall, more swarm forward, and you see bounding toward the house a large figure wearing spectacles and trousers. Do you have a better price, Nora?
I was never very good at haggling prices. Even when I made my deal, she didn't accept any of mine.
The four of you all smell mushrooms. Amelia and Wayland, you begin to find yourselves overwhelmed by the wolves. And as Wayland, you're knocked down, you see wolves leaping all over Amelia. And then you find yourselves all sitting in a hut. You look, and Ezra's body is laying across Amelia's lap. She's in the floor on the corner. Your arms are still thrown up over your head to shield yourself from the blows. Wayland, you are knelt down where you'd been knocked and had looked up. Constance and Nora, you guys are standing side by side with Nathaniel. And you see Babette. And you see 5 other figures all standing behind them. And Babette walks up and she lifts the ledger from Nora's hands. And as you look, you see that this is a very young, very fresh-faced Babette. You can totally tell who it's supposed to be, but it's not hardcore gross hag. And she leans in and kisses Nora on the cheek. And then she turns and kisses Constance on the cheek. I didn't expect this.
We're Marleys. Just before this all went down, I was thinking about how I should wish myself back in time and kidnap myself so I couldn't make any more bad decisions that ruin the family. Each one of us will step in there and do something dumb, sacrificing ourselves for the others.
Yeah.
Make it right something else. Some kind of price where I can rescue him later.
And she turns. And she tosses the ledger into the fireplace. You Marleys were always a stupid lot. But one of you just pulled the biggest trump card I've ever seen. And he turns, and you see standing in the back, behind the 5 other women, is Dorian, holding the hand of a woman none of you have seen in years. Emily Marley.
Mother?
Nora. Connie. Emily. Wayland. Nate.
But you're dead. Wait, are we really here? I've been here when I was unconscious before. This isn't real, is it?
It's real, dear. And Dorian steps forward and wraps his arms around his sisters. And then moves over and hugs Amelia since, she's over holding Ezra. We made a choice.
What choice?
What did you do?
It was probably a bad one, wasn't it? That's all we ever seemed to make.
And Babette steps forward. You remember, dear, I told you someone was messing with your thread of fate.
Oh, yeah, Wayland, that's what I was going to tell everybody in the morning, but you were very mean.
Well, it was these two.
I was supposed to stop Mother and Dorian?
You were never supposed to stop anyone, dear. You were simply to stay alive.
I was strapped to a table.
And Emily steps over. The Marley family. Well, it's more than just a family. We are the Veil.
I'm confused again.
Yes. And Dorian speaks rather than Emily. His voice is resonant, and it just is filled with power, and it is an age far beyond anything that you remember from this 13-year-old boy. We are the Veil. It's inside of us. It's part of us. It's part of me. But it's not worth losing you all. And he turns and he looks at Emily. Life's changing. Are you ready?
What exactly does that mean?
You'll see.
How can I be ready if I don't know what it means?
And Emily steps forward and takes Constance's chin in her hands. And there is nothing in those eyes but pure love. I love you. You can do this.
Do what?
Hold the line. And she looks at the other three of you. All of you. Hold the line. And she steps back. And you see that there is a massive ledger, easily 10 times larger than the ledger that Nora had carried or that you'd seen on Babette's. And you see all of them hold their hands out and touch hands, and the quill that appears hovers above their hands and begins to write very quickly. And you're all able to read that for the safety and the restoration of the sisters Marley, that Emily Marley and Dorian Marley, Veil Guardians both, do sunder the veil and remove themselves from existence on the condition that their family, the Marley sisters 3, and those they love and hold dear, will hold the line. And as the contract finishes writing, Dorian moves from sister to sister to sister, and then to Nate, and then to Wayland. If there's anything you want to say to him.
You don't have to do this. We can do it.
No.
Nate and I. It's not you.
And the hags turn and look to Wayland and to Nate. You would take his place. It will require 2 to measure up to his worth.
Yes.
And Nate nods.
No.
He's your brother.
So are you.
And I
And
got
Nate.
10 years.
And there's 2
10
of you.
years that
No.
I
No.
gave me my life.
Yes.
Give it back. Give it to Dorian. It doesn't have to be him.
And Dorian wraps his arms around Wayland's neck. The Alfar need a king, and I can't be that.
How long have you known?
Since I was born.
Didn't think to tell anyone.
I didn't understand.
I still don't.
Father and mother were meant to have 9 children and spread the power between all 9. Dr. Jack and Fate kept that from happening.
So it's all on you.
Yes.
And we hold the line.
And he runs to Constance and jumps and throws his arms around her neck.
Does she fall?
No, you're feeling fine.
Okay. She hugs him back. And she whispers in his ear. I gave away your part of the fortune, I'm sorry.
I know. I'm not gonna need it. And if all goes according to plan, Pa will be there at the house when you get there.
She hugs him.
And he steps down and moves to Nora.
You're an obnoxious little brother, and I reject the plan.
Okay. And he hugs her. And he moves to Amelia and kneels down next to her and brushes the hair back out of Ezra's eyes. He's very handsome.
Yes.
He'll make you happy.
She looks over at their mother. I don't understand. Where have you been?
In the veil.
So you didn't end your own life?
Wrong, Emily.
Oh, see, that's where this has all gotten really confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so this isn't Amelia Nora.
Nope, this
This
Emily
is Miss
Marley.
Marley.
Yep.
Good heavens. This has become so...
Yes, it is.
We have a
Imagine
weird
being the
family.
GM.
Got 3 Emilys in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Good heavens. Scratch that then.
I've been in the veil. Your mother was a good woman. And he lied. He killed her to get to you.
He killed my mother.
Yes,
Is he not my father?
he is.
He's my father.
He is. And Dorian leans up and whispers in her ear, "For now." Dorian lets go and moves to Nate. And there's a short exchange between the two. And you see something you've never seen, which is Nate begin to cry. And Emily moves to Constance and says very little, simply kisses her on the cheek. "I'm proud of you."
I don't know you.
No, but I know you. I've watched you your whole life, just as I've watched all of you. Some of you have made better choices than others. And she gives a long look to Amelia. But I'm proud of all of you. And I love you all. Hold the line. And she steps back to the hags. And you see her and Dorian each pick up a quill and sign. And you blink. And you smell nutmeg and cider and pine. And you hear the crackling of a fire. And as your eyes open, you see you're seated in the dining room in Marley Manor. Around that banquet table, there are stockings hanging over the fireplace. And the large pine tree in the corner, decorated well. You see Alistair Marley on a stool, placing the star at the top of the tree. And as you look around the table, you see 7 faces. Constance is there, seated beside a tall and handsome man with sandy brown hair who has his arm wrapped around her. On her left hand glistens a gold band with a single princess cut diamond in it. And she is looking confused, but he is smiling like a madman. You see Nate. His skin a healthy, regular pallor. He also looks confused, but glances around and, even with tears in his eyes, somewhat smiles. You see Wayland. Crying with 2 eyes. you see Nora. Dressed in what is very obviously a mechanic's uniform. Her hat has multiple working flashlights on it. But she looks very confused as well. You feel your heartbeat. You see Emily, who you recognize as Amelia, and you realize as you think about it that the name Emily doesn't fit. Only Amelia fits. And she is seated on the lap of a hulking man with a very interesting mohawk cut. And you see he wears no glamour. His tusks and his beard and his gray skin in plain view. And he holds her tight to him. And you all share a look. And Alistair turns as he places the star atop the tree and whispers softly, "You all look like you've seen a ghost. I've never heard anybody cut off in the middle of a carol like that. Is everything okay?"
Wordlessly gets up, and if he's on the stool, he's unfortunately going to fall because she's just going to leap at him.
Okay, yeah, he's climbed down off the stool as you throw your arms around him. Connie?
No words.
Why are there so many tears? I thought we were happy that Wyatt had proposed. Am I missing something?
Assume we still remember everything,
Yeah, every single thing.
and we
Except
we
you don't know how this happened because you do not remember Dorian or Emily Marley. You just remember that someone that you love desperately gave up everything for you to hold the line and for you to find happiness in the broken world.
do we know it was through Babette
Yes,
or through hags in general?
you know that the wish magic did something.
Noticing Wyatt and Band
Mhm.
running back across the room
Mhm.
and throwing herself at Wyatt this time.
Okay. He holds her close.
Babette happened. That's what happened. I don't know what they did.
Who's Babette?
A wish hag. And knowing how those work and how the Marley family works, I'm gonna guess Marley did something incredibly self-sacrificing and brave and stupid. If I ever figure it out, they're in trouble. By the way, Constance, I have a heartbeat. And I
Was
need
this
to
in
breathe.
question? Are we what?
It's a long story.
Do you still like mushrooms?
They're disgusting. Do you still have gills? Because now that I need to breathe, that means I can't follow you underwater.
There are no gills, and your hair is jet black as it's always been. There is no blue.
I take off my necklace.
You are the same.
By which we mean.
Nothing changes when you take off your necklace.
But is he blue?
Was I looking human or alpha beforehand, though? Oh. Okay, then.
And he turns and he looks at you. Are you all right, son?
Not yet, but I will be.
And he turns and he looks. 2 of my daughters are married off. But my eldest boy isn't. Neither are you, Nate.
Where's Ishmael?
Who?
Ishmael. And Sarai. And Thomas.
Who?
Oh, gears and sprockets. Now I have to find them too.
Young lady, we've talked about that language in my house. That is workshop talk, not dining room talk.
Sorry.
This whole time, Amelia hasn't been paying attention to any of this. She's just been like sobbing into Ezra, kissing him, and then just like sobbing into his chest. Like she has no idea any of this other stuff has gone on.
Are you all right, dear? We were told there would be mood swings, but this is ridiculous.
Mood swings. You were dead. What?
He was not dead. He was a dagger. We were going to fix it.
No, this is Ezra she's talking
Which one are you
to.
talking about?
Yeah, this is Ezra.
No,
she's
sorry.
talking to.
Ezra. Well, his spirit got pulled off somewhere. We can't say for sure he was dead. I bet we could have fixed it.
And he turns.
And at this, Amelia
Father,
just
what
lets
did
out
you-
a loud well and just like keeps sobbing into his chest.
Father, what did you put in the eggnog?
Someone did fix it.
What do you mean mood swings?
One in your condition.
What condition is that?
He kind of looks at you. Please tell me you didn't have any of the eggnog.
Remember what you took.
Those little pills that were not vitamins.
I'm so confused.
I
You're
think you may
pregnant.
have forgotten to take them. You are married. I've heard that there are certain things that, like babies, come after marriage. This is what I'm
Oh.
told.
Oh, Nora, we need to have a discussion.
I've already talked. Wait. Father, what's the name of our cook? Is she still alive?
Yes. Her name is plot appropriate. It is the correct name that Eric doesn't remember right now. Because Eric spent a lot of time planning out this event, and now everybody's confused.
Amelia tangles her fingers through Ezra's beard and kind of like gently pulls his face down level with
His
hers.
tusked face down.
Yes, or maybe his tusks. I don't know. It's gentle. It's
Don't
not
grab
like
his
a
tusk. That will go poorly.
Okay. She knows better then, and she just looks at him. Are you saying we're married?
And as you there's a
And
ring
then
on
I'm-
your finger. It's gorgeously carved wood.
And then I'm pregnant?
Yes. The twins will be wonderful.
Twins.
I'm getting some flashbacks.
And she starts to sob some more into his chest. But these sobs sound happier by degrees.
Yes. And he looks at and Alistair looks at all of you. Are you all right, girls? And Nathaniel hasn't said anything. He's just kind of leaned back in his chair looking around.
Do you know anything about the veil?
The what?
Do you know anyone called Dr. Jack or Van Helsing?
Yes.
Where are they?
Last I heard, Dr. Jack was up north somewhere, but I don't talk with him. Van Helsing's in Berlin.
So something important I need to know. You don't consider Dr. Jack family, right?
No.
Good. I may need to kill him.
Amelia.
Still?
Sorry, not Amelia. Nora. I will not have talk like that on Christmas Eve.
Sorry. I won't talk about it now.
Don't even think it, young lady. Whatever this vendetta of yours is against a man I don't recall you ever having met, it can wait until the new year.
All right. I will wait until after the new year to pursue killing him.
Nora?
Yes, Father. Oh, I'm so happy to have you back.
I love
I'm
you
still
all.
older, right? I'm still older than Constance.
Yes. I mean, by almost a year and a half.
Wait, what?
And he
We're
kind
not
of
twins?
No. And then he smiles. He says, I'm just kidding. You know, I hate when you ask which one of us is older.
You have no idea how unfunny that was.
That really wasn't very funny at all.
I enjoyed it. And he looks at all of you and smiles. It's Christmas Eve, and I need to get to bed. And he looks at all of the young men, as do the rest of you. Because we have our pheasant hunt in the morning.
Of course we do. What else would we be doing?
Hunting pheasants.
And then opening gifts. Merry Christmas, children. I love you all. And he turns and he looks at his two sons-in-law or sons-in-law to be. And I'm glad you're both here and that you make my daughters happy. I'll see you in the morning. And he exits. And Alistair looks to sorry, not Alistair. There's a lot of characters in one room that I have to keep track of right now. Wyatt looks to Constance. Would you like to go for a run?
Yes.
And he holds out his hand, and the pair of you walk off into the hallway and off toward the outside. Ezra lifts Amelia up. I shall carry you to bed, for you need much rest. For I hear twins can be taxing.
Okay. Yes. I could use some sleep, I think.
Yes. Very well. And he turns. Merry, what is the word?
It's
Christmas.
It's Christmas, darling.
Christmas. To my family. And he turns and carries Amelia from the room, leaving Nate and Wayland and Nora seated at the table.
Wayland, I'm so happy and yet so sad at the same time, and I don't know why.
Well,
I think we should write it down.
yeah. We're gonna want to remember.
I'm already forgetting things.
Yeah. And we're gonna need to know what's different.
And how the hell we hold the line.
Yeah.
Aren't you an elf? Alfar?
Alfar.
Sorry.
Alfar.
They're different.
I
They
know.
are different.
We've had this argument for 10 years.
I remember being told that they need a king. But
Wasn't it?
if
It was in your necklace, wasn't it?
it was my glamour, and either
Have you tried just
the glamour is
turning it off?
if I concentrate on doing that, does anything happen?
No.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm Alfar anymore.
Would you rather be Alpha or would you rather be my brother? Our brother?
Didn't stop me being your brother before.
But it all feels different now.
I just
If you want the throne, I'll help you take it.
I never wanted it. I just remembering I was told it was important. And now I don't understand if it was supposed to be important. Why?
Maybe you put someone there who belongs there.
There's a lot we don't know now.
No.
Don't
Be
even
fun
know
to
who to
find out.
thank.
And hey, first time in a long time, we don't all know a bunch of crap that nobody else knows.
That's very untrue. We know a lot of crap that not a lot of other people don't know now.
We just know it all together now.
No secrets, is what I mean.
Is
know.
that possible? I don't think that's possible.
Are you do you know? Are you hiding things? I'm not hiding things. Look,
Yet?
I don't have fangs. I can't fly.
It's-
I've tried to turn into a bat for the past 30 minutes.
You could turn into a bat before. That's so cool.
I can't now.
Sorry?
Yeah. It'll be nice to eat food that isn't blood.
Yeah. I completely didn't have to eat mushrooms. I was strapped to a table for a while, but you know.
Yeah. Hey, you got 2 eyes.
I noticed, yeah.
Did you see? Connie smiled.
Well, Wyatt was back. And Father.
Can you smile?
Someone gave up a lot for this. More than one person.
Yeah.
And they were important to us.
And they did it because we were important to them. So now I think we do the Ezra thing. We just do the very best we can.
Gonna have to make it worthwhile.
We will. And he holds out a hand to you.
I'll take it.
And he pulls you into a big bear hug.
Gesture to Nora.
She worms her way between the both of you. Puts her arms around both your arms.
Okay. So we fade out on that scene. We cut very briefly to a scene of Ezra tucking Amelia into bed and laying down next to her and softly singing an orcish lullaby with his head down near her stomach. And then we cut to the outside. Wyatt and Constance walking hand in hand across the snowy flat of the Marley Manor grounds. You reach the back of those grounds and find the hill that led up and then over and down to the pond where you used to steal moments together. And as he hikes you up that hill, he turns and looks at you. In a voice that draws a somewhat disconcerting half memory for a second, he says, "Are you ready?" And then before your eyes, you watch as your fiancé shifts into a large silver wolf and looks up at you expectantly.
I try to shift.
And right there, you shift into a silver wolf. And the pair of you, you shift into a black wolf. And the pair of you bound across the snow as we fade out from this chapter of Paddington Prowler. Everybody who hung out in chat, thanks so much for joining us. I hope everybody had a good time. Thanks to, I think we got rated in the middle. I'm not sure. I didn't get to see because my setup is not set up to see chat, but I can see the numbers. So thanks so much.
A few times.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the raid. That was greatly appreciated. Thanks to those who stuck around. We're here every Monday night from 9 to about 11:30, 9 to midnight Mountain Time. So, thanks to my cast. This has been your prologue. Saddle up. The real show starts now. I've been your host and storyteller, Eric Taylor. Remember, we'll be back Wednesday night for Eternium Gate, which will be a little bit more lighthearted than this, probably. And that show features Chantel, Sarah, Sam, and the wonderful Deep Frito. So come see us 11 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday for Eternium Gate. And it'll be simulcast here on Twitch as well as on YouTube. Besides that, I'm going to turn the time over to my cast to voice their thoughts, feelings, and anywhere you want to find them. So let's start with the one and only Chantel B.
I have thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
I hope so.
I have many emotions in my body right now, but corsets hold them in. So yeah, that's an ad for corsetry for everyone, because you can hold in every emotion with a corset. Welcome to England. Yeah, find me on Twitter at ChantelB. Find me at my website wordswithcolor.com, where there's been a lot of really dark responses to this game, and now randomly will be a very, very light one. So that'll be fun. But also find me here for everything. Always.
It's true. The other person who's on most everything, but not quite everything, but most everything, is Nora, aka Sarah.
Well, Nora's not on everything.
No, thank heavens.
That would get confusing.
And difficult for Eric. But Sarah, thoughts, comments, concerns, questions? No, not really. That's for after game. But how's game? How are you?
Yes, so many questions. I'll wait till after, though. I did not see where this story was going at all. You caught me completely off guard. Congratulations.
It doesn't happen often, folks. But when it does, it's a win for me. Katie, how are you? How was game?
It was really good. Some really interesting stuff for Amelia. So, and I'm still processing everything that just happened.
It's okay. You got till next Monday.
I don't know if that's enough time to process everything that just happened.
At least you don't have to be Sam or Chantel or Sarah and be here on Wednesday.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And we'll now jump to the other man who is now in everything Do Respite does. Sammy P.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I am, aren't I?
You are indeed.
Wow, that was a whole lot of things. I was really worried at the start, not knowing what had happened between Constance and Amelia, that Wayne was going to react really badly. And then, yeah, it didn't go the way I thought it would at all. And now I don't know what I am anymore. So it's going to be fun to find out. But I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at @the_RealSammyP. I'm a voice actor and a performer based in Brisbane, Australia. You can listen, as we've just said, I'm now on every show here. So we've got Eternium Gate on Wednesday and Unlawful Disorder on Friday. No, Saturday.
Saturday.
Sorry. Time zones are weird. And you can also hear the last bit of performing I did by going to the Penny Peep Show and listening to A Town Called Prodigal, where I play one of the characters in that. And they do
Ritz.
radio drama style shows. Ritz. I was going to say Raz, and I was like, that's wrong, and I don't
You
have
should
brain
know
space
this.
to work out why.
Oh.
Not right now. I don't. There's other things that are going through.
Yeah.
But that was
Town Called Prodigal
fantastic.
with He Plays Ritz is great. So go watch that. But anyway, yeah, just a reminder. I've hit it once, I've hit it twice. Wednesday, Eternium Gate, 11 p.m. Eastern. If you like what you saw, go ahead and please click that follow button here. It helps us out a ton. And if you really, really like what you saw and want to see more, all of our shows are on YouTube. The link's down below in Twitch. And you can always check out patreon.com/2respite. Now, with all of that business out of the way, thank you everybody for joining us. And on behalf of my wonderful cast, Chantel, Katie, Sarah, and Sam, I've been Eric Taylor. Good night. Good luck. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Love one another. And we will see all of you hopefully on Wednesday. Bye, everyone.